Hi, everybody. This is Mac Pierre-Louis, attorney, mediator, and arbitrator, co-founder of InstantMediations.com. We're back at the TAM, Texas Association of Mediators Annual Conference 2022. We're at the Woodlands Resort, and we're talking to different people. And this time, of course, we have the one and only Dr. Barbara Manousso, international trainer. You've been an international trainer for almost 30 years, right, Dr. Manousso?
That is correct.
Yes. So go ahead and introduce yourself just a little bit, and then we'll get to some questions.
Well, I'm from Providence, Rhode Island, went to Brown, and then I have a master's in public health, so this pandemic has really been quite a problem for me, and my doctorate's from NOVA, Southeastern University, in conflict analysis and resolution. So I feel well qualified to be in the mediation and arbitration arena, and we really enjoy training and have trained all over the world.
Yes.
So it's very nice.
Yes, and so Dr. Manousso was my trainer years ago when I was taking her mediation course to become a certified mediator or a credentialed mediator.
That's correct.
So what we wanted to talk about today is a topic that's very dear to your heart, and that is keeping the heart of mediation. And one of the things we're doing at the Texas Association of Mediators Conference is talking about mediation and all of the tricks of the trade that you need to know on how to be a good, effective mediator to meet your client's needs. And so, Dr. Manousso, I know that this is something that's personal to you as a trainer, as a lifelong giver of yourself to folks who want to hone their skills in this craft. Can you tell us what is the heart of mediation and what is it that we're trying to keep?
Well, if you look at the word heart, there is the word ear in between it. And the object of mediation and the strength and the benefit of it is that the parties have an opportunity to speak, be heard, and to listen to the other party. The mediator's role is to help bring the parties together and help them have this conversation and bring them through the conversation so they find solutions. And what's been happening is that there are some people who say they mediate, and what they're really doing is negotiated settlement. They throw people for a whole bunch of reasons. They say, oh, they're in conflict and they're nervous. Of course they're in conflict and they're angry and they're nervous. If they had something to share earlier, they wouldn't be in the mediation to start with. And so negotiated settlement, that's a different ball game. My interest in my teaching and what I'm worried about is that people pay and think they're going to mediation, and then they end up in this negotiated settlement. So I'm very strong and very focused on making sure people understand what the process is.
I understand. So how do you go about, well, let me ask you this. Who are you trying to educate more, the mediators or the parties, to know the difference?
Well, I think it's consumer driven. And when something is consumer driven, the mediators get away with too much. We've had incidents where a mediator is doing negotiated settlement, might have 3 cases going at once. The consumer is paying for their time thinking they're with the other side, and they're actually in another case. So this is an abuse of the system. And proper mediation is the parties are together so they can work together. Not that you don't caucus to get reality checking or clarity, but you come back together and you make a proposal. And today we're having the benefit of the man who does proposals, Bill Eddy. And that's so valuable. That is the strength of mediation, and that keeps the conversation together.
Thank you. Can you connect transformative mediation into what you're discussing about keeping the heart of mediation?
Transformative mediation is just another tool. And basically what transformative means is that you are giving the parties that opportunity to hear and be heard. We would never say to a client, I'm going to do transformative mediation on you. We don't say that. It's just one more tool in our quiver. And you want to be able to have a variety of skills that you share with your clients and with the parties. Everybody has a different need and they're in a different place. So I would never just say transformative.
No, I understand. It's just from a recent talk we had with one of the trainers on your podcast. And by the way...
Folger, Dr. Joe Folger.
Exactly.
He's the author and the theorist that wrote the book on the promise of mediation, which is real mediation.
Yes.
And he labeled it with transformative, but it's a label. It's a label.
Yes, I understand. And so, and by the way, catch Dr. Manousso on a series she has called Manousso Musings, in where she discusses mediation in general and invites special guests to come and speak with her and us, myself, Natalia Lasochaika, on all things mediation. And so that will be, you have some great guests coming up pretty soon as well, right?
Marvelous guest. And the object and the goal is to reinforce what real mediation is. And so it's not only the skill set for the mediator, but so the consumer hears about it. Mediation isn't like milk, that it gets sour and you go back and every week you have to buy the process. You might do it once in a lifetime, maybe never do it in a lifetime. But when you need to go to mediation, you want to make sure that what you're paying for is what you're getting. Nothing is worse than I'll get a phone call, and I've had many, where somebody called and said, could you mediate for me? Well, sure, tell me about the case. Well, I did it yesterday and it was terrible. Well, did you sign anything? Yes, I did. Sorry. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
And because it's a binding contract, the solution that you are the architects of in mediation, and or there have been people who have been handed a document saying, this is but what you should be signing, and if you don't sign it, it's not in your best interest. So people think that's mediation. That's not even mediation or negotiated settlement. That's just forcing somebody. But they have requested mediation, they paid for mediation, and they maybe didn't even have the other party sitting with them to have a conversation. So this is what I'm worried about. This is the Texas Association of Mediators, and mediators need to be strong. They can't be driven by their clients or by attorneys that might come with the clients. They need to know that they're getting a pure process. And I think that's the advantage of people who are here at the Texas Association of Mediators.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Manousso. And to close out, how many TAM conferences have you been to over the years?
Oh, 28.
Wow.
Something like that. One of the 2019, I received the Susan Adams Award. So that was very kind and very generous.
From TAM.
From TAM.
Yep.
Yeah, I was shocked. I thought somebody else was getting it, and they said my name, and for once I was surprised. I almost fainted.
Awesome. All right, everyone. That's it for now. Stay tuned for another interview. Thanks so much. All right, Dr. Manousso, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, done.